replacing it. If you can understand this and understand the concept and get your head around this consistently and easily, then you can probably be an energy auditor very quickly. This allows you to understand the energy savings by replacing old technologies with new ones. And if you can answer this question, you can probably work out how much money you could save replacing any object in your house as well. So this question is about replacing an old incandescent light with a new one, which is 55 watts less energy when being used. We have 65 minus 10, we're saving 55 watts, and we're doing that for 3 hours a day over 1 week. And by doing that, we can multiply our wattage by time. So 3 times 7 is 21 hours. And we have 1155 watts multiplied by hours gives us 1155 watt hours. Pretty straightforward. So it's watt hours is a unit of energy when we're dealing with electricity. We also have amp hours, but today we're looking at watt hours. The second one, we have determine the total energy saving in joules over the week. This is a form of energy, and so is joules. Now, if you recall, a watt is joules per second. And if we think about watt hours, watt times 3,600 seconds equals joules per second. Oh, sorry, joules, because we're talking about energy. But if we were to divide both sides by time, we would end up with watts equals joules per second. Should make that 3,600. Okay. So just trying to show that wattage is actually joules per second, but watt hours is indeed the watts multiplied by a time, which means we're actually dealing with energy. Now let's think about this one. We have 1155 multiplied by 3,600 seconds. And that gives us our energy in joules, which is 4158,000 joules, or in megajoules, we have 4.158 megajoules. Okay, the next question is how we actually save money and how much money does this equate to? We could probably turn this into or convert that into how many Mars bars we're looking at, but let's look at how much money we're saving as well. And you might actually think, is it useful to change these light globes? Is it worth the money and the hassle? So for the case above, determine the cost saving over 1 year, assuming the cost of electricity is 0.25 cents. We're going to go back to the first question. We know how much money we're saving per week, but I'm actually going to convert that to kilowatt hours because it's in line with the price. Then I'm going to multiply that by 52 weeks, and then I'm going to multiply by the price that we're saving. And therefore, we can get an answer of $15.02, which is probably worth it. If it costs you $5 or $10 to swap with an LED light, it'll probably last longer as well. Now, you could do similar calculations with replacing a heater, or you might even just want to work out how much electricity is your heater going to cost you, or how much is that going to cost. If it's a 2,000 watt heater and you have it on for 3 hours a day, then we have 6,000 watt hours. That's quite a lot when you compare to this weekly cost of our light globe, or our light globe saving, really. So consider your electricity usage and maybe try and do some calculations with some objects or some appliances you have at home.